Howdy folks, it's Delta here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are in the middle of the Swiss bush trip. Swiss Northern Lakes is called. So I assume you've watched the first leg of this, so we're just going to continue without much of an introduction other than one leg per video. So here is leg 2. If you haven't watched leg 1, please watch that first so you know what's going on. But we're going to get going here. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is come down here, repair and refuel, which for me is Control R. It might be different for you. And we're going to fix a few things here. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn on the weather, the wind I mean, which is already on I guess, although it doesn't really matter that much. And looks like we lost our GPS for this leg. So if you saw the first video, actually if you've seen the previous bush trips, you know that we used to have GPS path on our map, and we just set autopilot to follow GPS. And then the past few bush trips, that's been gone, so we've had to do it the old-fashioned way where we use our heading and stopwatch. But then leg 1 of this trip had the GPS line, and we followed it on the previous leg, previous video. But right now, it looks like the line is gone, so we have to do it the old-fashioned way, which I'm secretly excited. I've mentioned this before, for the sake of making videos, it's much easier when the GPS is in the bush trip and we just set autopilot, set it and forget it, and just look around and read about stuff. For making videos, that's great, makes it easier, but it's not as fun. It's way more fun to have to work for it, and that's what we need to do on this leg. So I don't know if it's leg by leg or trip by trip, but sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So right now it's not. So let's read about where we're going here and set everything up. So we are going from Zulu Bravo to Zulu Hotel. About a half an hour, take us about 45 minutes, then probably M River. After returning to the air, head in a northeasterly direction for 10.5 nautical miles to reach the 50-mile long Enema River. Alright, Enema River, here we go. Let's see, looks like we're already there, huh? Maybe not. Let's zoom out. After returning, and they're headed in a northeasterly, so you had to turn around. Maybe it's this one? Maybe it's that. I don't know. I have no idea. That's the problem now. We have to figure all this stuff out. Okay, so we're going to come down here. We're going to set our heading to 60, which means I need to hide that. Heading 60. Let's go this way, be way faster. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. There we go. So we're going to turn around and go that way. Okay. And we're going to go that way for 5 minutes and 4 seconds. And that'll be the Enema River. And then we'll read about the next POI. So let's look at this one more time on this one. Actually, this doesn't really matter because we have this map here. And this is easier to read. So we're going to use that map, I guess. Nope, I looked up the river in Google Maps and it's up here. So we're going to go back over Bern. And then we're going to go up to that area, GRE. That is where we're headed, it says. Is it really? Or is that just the town? I'm looking. Oh yeah, that's just the town, I think. I can't find the river. Never mind. We're going to figure this out together. This is going to be a fun one, which is great. Alright, so everything's good to go, I think. First set of flaps down. And let's see. Let's get in the air, and then we'll start our turn. Then we'll start our stopwatch. You know, actually, there's a stopwatch in here. Isn't there? But that might actually be more difficult to do. Let's see what happens. It's not starting. Why aren't you starting? Do I need to hit enter here? There it is. Okay. As we take off, right? Brakes to stop the wheels. Flaps coming in. Now, what we would normally do, or what we will do eventually, is we will use autopilot with the heading bug. Then that way I can look around and let the plane fly and not crash into something. But right now we're going to hand fly for at least a while. So let's see, what does it say? 60 degrees for 5 minutes, and then we're going to go to this long river, and then we'll read about the next POI when we get there. So this is going to be, whoa, much more interactive now that we have to do it ourselves. But like I said, I like it that way. Alright, so we're heading this way. My mouse, I lost my mouse control. There we go. Whoa, 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 why is my mouse a weird cursor? Because I had this open, I think. There we go. Okay. Oh, stay on 60 degrees, please. Stay on 60 degrees, please. This must be the river there, then, maybe. I really don't know. Has to be. Alright, co-pilot, yeah, we know, but here's the problem. It's hard to look around now when I'm doing all this by hand. So we're going to have to step autopilot in a second. So this co-pilot gets out of my way here. Alright, let's see here. Do we have to get pretty high? Yeah, we do. We got to get over these hills. So let's aim for... Let's see, let's aim for $5,000. And we'll do a heading bug, I think that says. I can barely read that. And then we're going to go up 500 frames per 500 frames. 500 feet per minute. Hit autopilot. There we go. 500 feet per minute, is that going to be enough? I don't think so. We'll do 700 feet per minute. Have to keep an eye on our speed. I know optimum climb speed is like 76 or something, so we can probably go even more steeply, but I'm not terribly worried about it. There, how about that? Happy now? Alrighty, so we're heading, I assume it's that river right there. No idea where we're going. We're just going to stay on 60. Alrighty, 2.5 minutes in, so we have a little bit more. Let's look outside. And let's enjoy the views as best as we can, since we're using autopilot to keep our heading and altitude, or heading and climb at this point. Oh, that's so gorgeous. There's that tower in the middle of your screen. We went by as we landed on the first leg. Oh, look at that. Looks fantastic. Very nice. But unfortunately, we have to keep track of what we're doing because the plane will not turn itself. Alright, I think we're good on altitude, but we'll still climb a little bit more. Alrighty, we're 3.5 minutes in. I really don't think... Oh, see, we're starting to get too slow. Nose down, nose down, nose down. Thank you. We're not... I don't know, man. That has to be the river. What else would it be, right? Okay. Let's start reading about the next POI, assuming that is the river, although Google Maps doesn't have a river listed for that. I don't know what it is. Alright, next one, next one. So then, once we get there, in another minute and a half, we're going to turn 59 degrees, which is about the same heading, and then we're going to continue to Lake Sempak for 10 minutes. And Lake Sempak is this lake right here. I'm pointing at the map. That's where we're headed afterwards. That must be the river. That has to be, because that's going to be 5 minutes out. And then 10 minutes, which is double that distance, will be the lake there. So that has to be it. See, we can do this. I love doing it this way. It's the way you're supposed to do it. It's just we're not looking out the window very much because we're too busy navigating. So what do we got? 30 seconds. And then 30 seconds we have to make our turn. Alright, so let's look out the windows here for 30 seconds. And then we'll make our turn. And that was already 30 seconds. But we're not at the river yet. So we're going to stay here. Oh gosh, do we need to climb, do you think? Do you think we need to climb? I think we need to climb. I think we need to get to 6,000. So let's do vertical speed. Not as aggressively because we're getting higher and higher. Make sure barometer everything is correct. Let's try 500 feet per minute. That means it'll take us 2 minutes to get over that. We should be good. If I have to take evasive action, I will. And we're only using autopilot because of sightseeing. I want to look around. Alright, so we're almost at the river, and we know what the lake is too. But let's give it just a second here before we reset our stopwatch. Or in this case, the stopwatch in our plane. And also, if you haven't noticed, when we have to do it manually like this, it means without the GPS, there's more talking and less sightseeing. Alrighty, I think we're good. Yeah, let's call that good. Okay, so let's stop this now, hit enter, and reset, and start, and go 1 degree. This is 59, did it say? 59, right? 59 degrees for about 9 minutes or so. And then we'll get to that Lake Sempak in the canton of Lucerne. Okay, so in a little bit here we will talk about the next leg and lake. Alright, there's our lake right there. And then the next one's only 3 minutes away, so the next one is probably there, but we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. So we are all set. We're above stall speed. And I think we're going to clear these mountains I think. So that means I can actually shut my mouth now and do some sightseeing for you, and I'll see you when we get to Lake Sempak. Looks like a good sized town down there, but we're about to be over our lake. Well, it looks like it there. But we have a ways to go, I guess. It does say about 3 minutes, but let's read about the next place we're going here. Lake Baldig. So we're going to turn, once we get over that lake, we're going to turn a whopping 9 degrees to the right in 3 minutes. So it's probably that lake right there, I'm guessing. And yes, it is. Of course it is. Alrighty, so we're just going to wait for some time to pass here, and then we will make our changes to our heading, and we'll go to the next place. But in the meantime, let's enjoy the views out the windows. Town there. Oh, little lake. There's Lake 2 coming in. A little pond lake thing. No islands in the middle, though. There's a town there. Mountains in the background. Ooh, big city off the lake. That would make sense. Another town coming up there. Another town over there. Look at that lake in the mountains, though, in the distance. You see that? Too bad we're not going to that one. Well, maybe we are. Are we going to turn really sharp? No, we're turning to the north after this. So, we're going to go to that lake, but I want to take out a boat and go skinny dipping in that lake. I think that's probably way too cold. But look at that. You all know I'm a sucker for lakes surrounded by mountains. I've never been to a lake surrounded by mountains. I've only seen photos, but I would love to go to a lake surrounded by mountains, even more so than this. But that's somewhat of an example. Alright, are we over our lake yet? It sure looks like it, but we're not quite. Not quite. Well, while we're waiting for the last minute here, so let's just hop outside and look. There we go. The lake from the air. Oh, how nice would it be to get on a bicycle and cycle around that whole thing. There's an island in the middle of your screen, and there's a little tiny island. I love little tiny islands and lakes because you can go there, it's tranquil, no one else is there, and the likelihood of animals are almost zero if it's small enough. I mean, like deer and big animals. Animals that weigh more than 20 pounds. I'm afraid of animals. I'm not afraid of people. I'm afraid of animals. That's why I need to live in a city, like a city. Although where I live, I'm literally like, I'm 2 houses away from the actual border of Minneapolis, and turkeys come down our street all the time, and they're big, and they look right in our dining room window. I would not want to be outside when they come by, because they don't run from anybody. Anywho, let's see, that looks gorgeous, but we are flying an airplane. My button stopped working for that. There we go. I forgot we're flying an airplane. So what do we need to do? We need to reset the timer. So let's stop it, reset, and start it. And let's go 68 degrees, which is going to be this direction. 7, 8. Whoops, that's 9. This is your heading there, by the way. This glass cockpit stuff is so easy to use. I was so intimidated by it for years. And then I'm finally like, you know what? I have to, with Flight Sim 2020, if I want to fly more planes, I have to learn the class cockpit. It took me 5 minutes. Took me 5 minutes. So easy. Don't be afraid of it. Although I love analog too, and there are actually a lot of people who don't know how to do the analog stuff. So I will be doing more analog when I'm able to, but the planes for the bush trips are forced. You can't change them. Alright, 3 minutes only it says, although I think we're probably going faster than they intended because it always takes me longer. So we're going to go to that lake right there, and then where are we headed? And then 2.5 minutes, we're going to go to Lake Holwee, which is probably that one, I'm assuming. And then we will move on from there. So let's enjoy the trip to this lake, which is right under our nose already. And then we'll turn over there to that lake. So let's look outside together. Sorry, no time for sightseeing without my talking because we're busy on these bush trips. Just enjoying the towns and another lake. Let's look back at that lake over there. Oh man, look at that. It's so gorgeous over there. And let's look back at this lake. There we go. Oh, there's islands on that lake too. Look. See? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Let's put this drone away though, and let's get the window view. So the what word am I looking for? So the what? Immersion feels better. And now it is time already to turn, even though it's not 3 minutes. So here we go. What did it say to turn? It said to turn 337 degrees. So we're going to turn 337 degrees, which is just after that 33, of course, or before from this direction. 337, there we go. And let's reset our watch already. And what does it say? 3 more minutes? 2.5 minutes. I'm not even going to look that up on the Google machine. I'm pretty sure we know what lake that is. It's that one they're heading towards. Then when we get there, we're going to turn to 84 degrees and then go for 8 minutes, which will put us where? I guess it's going to be the tip of that one, isn't it? Or is it that one? Do you think we're going to make it that far? Do you think that's 7 minutes out? I don't think so. I don't know. I actually don't know what that's going to be. Anywho, we're missing the lake, so let's fly to this lake. In fact, I'm going to shut up for a minute and let you sightsee. Why are we having such weird turbulence? And I'll see you in a moment when we get to lake, what it was called, Holwee. See you in a minute. Alright, that's all you get. We have to fly this airplane. So what are we doing now? We are going to change to 84, but first let's read. Lake Zurich. For Zurich, head due east for 15 nautical miles from Lake Holwell, and it'll be over one of the most renowned bodies of water in the world, Lake Zurich. Okay, so 84 degrees, let's go. My kids say, let's go. 84 degrees. I'm drifting away. And drift away. 84 degrees is right there. And we're going to reset this and start it. And we're going for what? 7.25 minutes to Lake Zurich. And there'll be an airport there. Okay, so it has to be this body of water because that's where we're headed, right? ZH. Yep. So we're going to head to this body of water and then turn and fly straight in. That's easy peasy squeezing lemons. What an easy leg. As long as we land and don't crash. Because if you crash, you have to redo it. And it screws you up and sets you down somewhere random and you have to fly back and redo it. It's a pain in the butt. So let's not ever crash. In fact, can we start coming down? We can step it down. we have these hills here, which is this stuff here. Actually, it's gonna be that one. Let's see. Can we step it down? Yeah, let's step it down. We're at 6 grand. Let's step it down to 4 grand. And if I have to take over and fly over those hills, we will. So let's do vertical speed down. Let's do 600 feet per minute and pull back throttle so we don't overspeed. If you overspeed, you crash and you have to restart the leg, which again will start in the middle of the leg wherever you crashed, and then it's hard to complete. So we're not going to get into that. So let's bring back throttles more and keep an eye on that speed where it's the predictive. Predictive says we're going to go up a little bit and then down a little bit. There we go. There. The predictive is that little, I can't see it, that little thing right there. I have it pretty stable so you can't see it, but sometimes it pops in with the turbulence. If I bring back throttles all the way, that pink line will come down here and predict where it's going to go. See? Okay, we're good. 7 minutes something, yeah, and then turn left to the airport. Easy peasy. Good, so we're done with that. We're just going to navigate. And where's the airport in relation to that lake? Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on at that airport right now. Alrighty, well, we're not going to worry about it. So quite a bit of time is going to go by here while we fly this. So I will give you a little bit of sightseeing without my voice, and then I'll jump back in with you to land the airplane to complete the penultimate leg and second leg of the Swiss Lakes bush trip. See you in a moment. And again, we got towns and mountains and hills and big towns and villages and beautiful little lakes and big lakes. But we're headed to that lake right there, just over the crest of this hill. And once we get to that crest, we will probably just take over by hand, because I'm pretty sure that's the airport right there. And there's a huge town right there. So, ooh, there's the turbulence from the train. So yeah, we'll take over by hand once we get over this crest of a hill and then over the water. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I want to be using the inside view when we cross this ridge, though, because it's the most immersive. So here we go. Over the ridge we go. Doo-doo-doo. I love that there's buildings on top of it over there. And right below us, too. Check that out. Man, that reminds me of when I first had X-Plane. I would fly mountains and find these little buildings on tops of the mountains. Now I just can't take it for granted, but it was super cool to see. Alrighty, there is our water. Holy cow, look at these gigantic cities along the water. And a gigantic airport, too. This is great. So we are going to... Well, we're actually going to fly a little bit more with autopilot, just because the runway approach is actually beyond this next ridge. Let's keep our altitude for the ridge, but let's actually come down here and turn a little towards the airport a little bit more here, so you don't have such a long approach. We don't need a very long approach. We're going to be good with a short one in this airplane. In fact, I can probably turn a little bit more. There's the runway lights. I see them flashing. Let's turn even more towards the airport. You can come at it as sharp as 45 degrees, or as offset as 45 degrees. I don't really care. Let's go with 30. That should be good, I think. Yeah, that's fine. We could even do even more, but I'm not going to. Alrighty, there we go. There's quite a party still. I don't know why I'm not seeing other people flying these bush trips like we used to. I mentioned that in the last video, I think. How we used to see all these people flying with us. I have tags turned on, I have multiplayer turned on, but we're not seeing other people fly the bush trips like I used to. Like the Nevada one, we had like 30 people flying with us in the beginning, and then everybody quit after like 4 legs. Then I didn't see many other people. And then one of the other ones, the one that went around, was it Italy? Greece. It was the Greece one, the Greek one. We had a couple people that we actually flew with. We didn't know them, but we like coincidentally flew with them for like 5 legs. It was awesome. But then ever since that trip, I haven't seen anybody else fly with us, so I don't know. We did have somebody fly with us for the achievement where you fly from France to Washington. That was amazing. We had this guy like Big Dog or something that literally was with Rent. Coincidentally, started when I did, ended when I did. The whole time he was right next to me. It was awesome. Next to me, I mean like a mile away. It was crazy. Alrighty, let's see here. It's time to take over by hand, I think. And land right there. So here we go. We're going to turn off all this stuff. And they're dinged dung for us. And I don't think we're quite ready to descend yet because of the hills. We'll turn left in a moment. Everything is trimmed perfectly. I still haven't touched the yoke yet. Some aircraft, when you turn off autopilot, is trimmed for like 5 knots and a point straight up. Alrighty, here we go. Let's turn left now. Can we look out the windows one more time? Well, yeah, we can, but should we? No. But let's look out this way as we're turning. Hey, everybody. We don't know what we're doing. We're from out of town. Alrighty, let's bring back the throttles and start descending now. Just an outside view, super fast. Oh gosh, this seems like a very bad idea to do this from the outside. Especially because if we overspeed or crash or anything. Oh gosh, look at that view though. Look at that view though. Oh, if we screw up, we have to redo the leg. And you know how I don't really want to redo these long legs. Okay, we survived. We don't need to slow down quite so much. So we're going to pitch down for speed and throttle so we don't descend as much. But not overspeed either. Long, huge runway. We've got plenty of distance between us, even though it may not look like it. Look at all those airplanes there. That's crazy. Alright, throttles back to descend. Let's clear these towers over here to the left. Oh my gosh. Why does it look like our frame rates are going down? What are our frame rates? It is 45, 43, 45, 45, 45, 43. So our frame rates are really high. I don't think you can see that, but I have a little counter I can turn on and off with hotkeys through Bandicam. Look at those towers. So I don't know why it looks like that, but whatever. Okay, enough of that. Who cares? Who cares? Let's land an airplane. As soon as we cross this highway, we'll get into flap range. And we will see what happens here. I'm just concentrating and I'm looking at that hill to the right. Says we're too low. Oh, good. I'm just going to call this out for us. Call out for us. Says we're too low, so let's stop descending. So I'm bringing in throttles to stop descending. And then pitch up and bring back throttles. We're getting to flap range here. Pitch up will slow us down. Throttles will keep us from ascending. And I'll get into flap range. First flap. Quickly looking around. And hopefully not regretting it. Which we almost just regretted it. We don't need 2 sets of flaps. I will do 2 sets of flaps anyway in a moment. And flap 2. Or no, you don't say that in a Cessna, but I do anyway. Alright, says we're a little low. I don't care. We're good. Let's aim for the numbers though. So pitch up a little bit. That'll slow us down as well. Throttles back to descend us. And no wind to worry about. Not really. I mean, it says 2 knots from the left, but who cares? Try to be centered today. We're going to land just before the touchdown zone because we can. And we're coming down just at stall speed here. Throttles back. Let ground effects take over. And perfect. Oh my gosh. The nose wheel down gently. There we go. Stay centered as best as you can. Flaps coming in. And step on the brakes. And look for that save icon. There it is. Good. We made it. There we go. 37 minutes. I think that's only 6 minutes longer than it's supposed to be. So that's going to do it for us. 1 leg per video. Like, subscribe. Catch me next time for the final leg of the Swiss Northern Lakes bush trip. See you then.